Today it's time for another track from scratch. In this video I will try to make a whole track starting with some of my own sounds and adding instruments and adding layers over time and build out an arrangement. So the starting point for this video is 3 sounds that I selected that I've made earlier. I will link down the videos below. The first one is the lo-fi movie sampled pad. The second one is the noise from Ableton effects. So this is really like a textural layer. And the third one is the reverse prickly synth made from a synth sample that I found on a turntablism record. So those 3 sounds are my starting point. I've decided that the track will be in E minor, and for now I set the tempo at 100 BPM, but that might change. So let's see where this takes me. I will start with the noise sound. This is something nice for in the background. Maybe somewhere here. I'll put use a scale function in Ableton to put it on E minor. Do that for all of the MIDI tracks. So when I made this video with the lo-fi movie sample, I remembered that I used like very short notes to create sort of a rhythm. That might be something to try here. Lower the volume of the other track. So I'm just playing around with the velocities to see if I can create some kind of groove. not very happy with the groove so far, so I'm gonna try some other stuff. I'm gonna try start over. Keep it basic like this, and maybe add some piano chords or electric piano chords to this to see if that works. So maybe first try to figure out a chord progression. Maybe do 3 bars. So get a bit more interest. Even shorter, 2.5 bars. maybe on top of this, I'm gonna play some of the sequential Prophet Rev2. I have this patch that I'm gonna put through the Red Panda particle pedal, the reverse setting, and then the Boss digital delay, the DD8. I'm gonna put a low cut here, and then I'm gonna record note by note because the tail is very long. So let's see if I can do it like this. Maybe take one delay off. So crop it and reverse it and maybe pitch it down an octave. So I'm changing to the original pitch because hear it better, but I'm gonna put a tremolo on it. So I have the reversey prickly synth, the third sound that I selected. I'm not sure if it fits, but I can try something. It has an arpeggiator and a delay. Let's take the delay off. So maybe I can take the fifth of each chord. There's a B, E, E, A then. Let's do some sound design on this already sound designed sound. So I've kind of ruined the whole sound, because now it sounds like this. Still has a little bit of melody in it, but it's really the tail of the sample. But sometimes that's what is needed. Now that we have this kind of rhythm, I feel like it's time to add a kick drum. I like to add something subtle, so maybe start with the C R78. have now a 5-bar loop, and basically it's a 2.5 bar that repeats, which is kind of odd. So for the drums, also I have 2.5 bars, but the kick is on every beat, and I adjust the snares on the 2.5 section. So I think that works for now. So now that I have a basic loop, what I will do is think I need to add more synthesizer parts to add more details, and after that very soon to start creating a second part. So this is can be one loop, create a second loop with a variation, maybe different chords, different sounds. So let's go back to the Rev2 and initialize a patch and see if I can make up a nice synth sound that fits this beat. So I recorded a few broken chords. Let me chop those up now. This was an A. This was an E. An E minor. An A minor. There's a D. And it was the root and the third of the chord. So this is maybe something for part 2. I'm using the markers to indicate part 1, part 2. Or maybe we can change the order a bit of the chords. Start with E, of course. maybe leave A out and do just ED. I have to change the piano. This is just noise, and then I duplicate this chord track, and then I can reverse a few of them. So in the end, and on the reverse one, I'm going to use a tremolo to chop up the sound rhythmically. So that sounds like this. I'm gonna add a hi-hat to, I think, part 1, but it could also be part 2. Just to sort of indicate that that is the main part, at least for now. So let's go to drums, hi-hats, and see if there's anything. Doesn't really matter at this point, just something to clicky. the synth part, with the noisy chords. Should maybe even be lower in volume. So now that we have two parts, I think I'm gonna work a bit more on the arrangements. Create the first part needs to build up before we get to this loop. So we need sort of an intro and build up, and also a break or a bridge. So a transition maybe from part two till part one. Let's see. First insert time. So Command I or Control I. Copy the chords or extend the loop. Another 8 bars here. Oh wait, we're not working with 8 bars. It's 5 bars. So remove. This is confusing. Okay, so now we have a total 20 bars. This works. Let's do another 5. More build up. Oh, I see that track 4 is muted. I don't want the track to come in. This is the one that should be in from the start. going to this part, we're losing track 6, the reversed synth sound. That sounds like this. So we might want to copy that, but then we have to change the chords. So it's E minor, E minor. Then we have D. Maybe give it a different color. We can do it like this. That sounds pretty good. The second part is different, but it's maybe also a main loop, the second part. So let's add more percussion to sort of emphasize that. Maybe a right. That could work. Let's group the drums. So the one sound I didn't really touch in terms of sound design is the chords of the electric piano. So have a look at this, with a low cut at least. I'm thinking something to make it wider. Perhaps a chorus. Without chorus. That could be it. Let's bring in the synths first. So now that we have two parts and a bit of a build-up, it's time to evolve this arrangement. First thing is thinking about a part 3 and maybe bring in a new instrument. So before I go to the third part, I'm gonna duplicate the main part and also work on the intro a bit more. I want to extend this with another 5 bars because I feel it's too short to go 5 bars with only one time 5 bars. So it will be 10 bars before getting into part 2. So that's one. The other thing, I'm thinking about the intro. Maybe start with the synth sound instead of the chords. So let's see how that sounds. Yeah, that's better. So I start with my more unique sound and then the more vanilla sound for the chords. Help to build up the track. Part 3. I'm thinking different chords again. What if we do A minor, B minor? This was E minor, D, and this was E minor, A minor, D. We're with this 2.5 bar loop, so maybe if we just do 1 bar, and half a bar. That's not bad. And of course, yeah, the other thing we're missing is a bass. Then is the question, what kind of bass? Maybe bass guitar from Contact. That could be nice. So I'm thinking what to do with this third part. We have the main part, the variation number 2. Let's maybe call it a variation. And then we have the third part, which is another variation, but maybe only use it for 2.5 bars. So it's more like a bridge. When we play it like this. And then it goes back to the main part, and then maybe only use this twice in the entire song. Now we're having a loop of 2.5 bars. That's kind of odd, but so be it. So I'm gonna copy all this, duplicate it. So this is the bridge. And this is the main loop as repeated. And then here, this was the variation. The second time, when you have the bridge, we're going to make a variation. So this is bridge 2, and I'm thinking to keep the drums going, because in this, it's not going to be the ending of the song, but we want a part 2 of the song where I want to keep the drums going and change some of the instruments. I want to keep this one going. Maybe even the right. Basically create a main loop 2. So a variation of this. So I want to keep the noise going. I also want to make a variation to the bass. So the bass is a bit slow, long slow notes. I want to change that. And maybe on the synth, if we put a delay on it, that could work. maybe make the hi-hat faster in this part. Or maybe altogether swap the bass guitar for a bass synth. So I'm duplicating the track, the contact instrument track, and I'm gonna replace the instrument with a synth bass. Maybe this could work. Maybe that's a bad idea. Let's keep the bass. So I've been thinking about it, and I think I'm gonna try to replace the bass sounds. Now I've been using the bass guitar from Contact. But it takes too much presence in the song, and I want something that is a synth bass and that's more subby and less pronounced. So the way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna duplicate the bass track and try to find another sound, but then I keep the original bass guitar as well. And I'm not gonna use contacts, but I will use operator. Try with the sub bass first. Play it an octave lower. I think I'm going to use shorter notes as well. Oh. So I think this works a bit better. The bass is more in the background, it's supporting the chords, but it's not taking too much attention. To develop the arrangement further, I'm gonna create another 10 bars of the main loop. So basically just repeat this part. Oh, and then we land exactly at 3 minutes. Not that that matters, but take the noise out. Oh, the delay that I put on this sound. I'm gonna leave it on the whole thing, yeah. Maybe put some automation here on the delay to increase the feedback for the outro, for the ending of the song. Then I also want to add some automation. I want to add some automation to the electric piano. So now it sounds like this. So maybe in part 2. Create a bit more saturation. So I'm using this, the pedal, and only turn it on for these two parts. and then put it on overdrive. The gain is only on 2, and then I'm gonna automate the dry wet. So it start with maybe 10%, and then build it up. So maybe 50 there. So here's clean still. Now that I hear this bass is very long, I want to change that too. Automation, I'm thinking, what else can we automate with effects? So in the second part, the drums maybe can use a bit more drive. So I'm gonna experiment with that. So I'll use the drum bus, the group, to see if this is something to put some distortion or overdrive on it. It is subtle, but it's adding something. let's bring back the piano for the last part as well, but change the chords, or maybe make it into a drone. And put a tremolo on it. Which sounds like this. So it's just much more percussive. Let's also put in a master fade because the delay is too long. So maybe for the intro, to bring in the drums earlier, we can sort of resample the last drums and pitch it down. And use that as a sort of sample to break kind of type of sound. So I'm gonna have this audio channel, put it on resampling, turn off the master mix strip, enable this, and solo the drums and this channel, and then resample 5 bars of this. So resample drums. Bring this to the beginning. Put them on loop. Now I'm gonna pitch this break down, maybe 5. Change the transient settings there. Put a low cut on it. And maybe a phaser or something. What if I pitch it up 1 octave? How does it sound? Not bad. Let's see if I can find or create something else on the Sequential Prophet Rev2, some kind of maybe effect sound or another layer that can help tying it more together. So this sound is just the Prophet Rev2, a very short envelope, and then going to the particles Red Panda and the Boss Digital Delay. The particles is on the reverse mode, and then yeah, that's basically it. So let's see if this works. I don't think I'm gonna cut in this. I'm just gonna see if I some EQ in it. Maybe actually start with this new sound. want to put it a little bit more in the background, so I'm going to add some reverb on this one so it doesn't take too much presence. So yeah, that's it for today. I think this is a pretty good start of a track. In the end, I created something that is 3 minutes long, has different parts, and in total 13 layers of sound. So there are different instruments, there are drums, there's bass. I used some sounds that I've created before. I will link down those videos below so you can see how I created those sounds. I use some stock sounds like the piano, put in a lot of automation or some automation. So it is not a finished track. I can still work on this, add details, transitions, automation, but it's a pretty good start of a track. And of course it needs to be mixed and mastered, and you know, some sounds might be too loud. The bass is still a bit loud, maybe some compression, or something with the kick, some side chaining that can help. I will now play the entire thing so you can hear the result. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next one.